Imagine being 16 and getting the call to join Formula 1. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened with Max Verstappen when Toro Rosso announced him as their new driver for the 2015 season.
That was last week when we signed the deal. I couldn't believe it in the beginning, but I'm really happy at the moment.
He replaced Jean-Eric Vergne, becoming the youngest Formula 1 driver in history, beating Jaime Alguersuari's previous record. The remarkable thing about Max wasn't just his raw talent. Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel also showed their skills at a young age, but the fact that he was already considered ready for the most challenging and sophisticated motorsport there is. Even in Max Verstappen's home country of the Netherlands, you can't even drive a car until you're 18 or rent one until you're 19. Yet here was Max, ready to rub elbows with seasoned pros like Kimi Räikkönen and Jenson Button, who were 34 years old at the time and old enough to be his dad. To say this raised eyebrows is an understatement. The F1 paddock was buzzing with reactions, and everyone was wondering how this young and an inexperienced driver would fare against the best in the world. You see, Max Verstappen wasn't just young, he skipped Formula 2 entirely. That's like skipping college and going straight to the CEO role. So why did Verstappen skip F2? Well, after making his debut in race cars at the Formula Renault Florida Winter Series, he jumped into Formula 3. The logical next step would have been Formula 2, but Toro Rosso had other plans and called him up to the big leagues. Not everyone was thrilled about this move. Mika Häkkinen, two-time world champion, voiced his concerns. It's too young because in F1 the risk is high. In F1 you don't go to learn, you have to be ready. F1 doesn't allow you to do too much learning. FIA President Jean Todt added, "Personally, I do think he's too young." And 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve didn't hold back either. He's still a boy, so it's very risky. You don't take a 16-year-old who hasn't even been to university in the best hospital as a doctor, even if he is very good and very intelligent. You need to pay dues, you need to deserve it, because that's only how you'll become a man. Now looking back, you might laugh at these comments, but at the time their concerns were valid. F1 is one of the deadliest sports in the world with a history of tragic accidents. A kid suddenly being thrown into this high-risk environment was bound to spark debate. Considering his age and inexperience, many drivers feared that Max could cause a series of costly on-track issues.
This is Max Verstappen! Oh, Max Verstappen! Can he keep it out of the barriers? Just!
And they weren't wrong. Verstappen's first season was full of mistakes and incidents, whether it was him crashing out or colliding with other drivers. In fact, he was arguably one of the most dangerous drivers during the early stages of his F1 career. His natural aggression, combined with his youth and inexperience, made accidents almost inevitable. It was at the 2015 Monaco Grand Prix that young Max Verstappen, who was just a rookie, had his first taste of chaos. Max was right on Romain Grosjean's tail, probably a bit too eager. Just meters before the braking zone at turn 1, Max crashed into Grosjean, sending his Toro Rosso flying into the barrier.
You shouldn't be feeling too comfortable for a while, and Verstappen goes straight into the barrier.
You okay, Max? I'm okay.
This resulted in a broken front left suspension and one massive accident. F1 drivers weren't exactly pleased with Max's antics. Felipe Massa even went as far as labelling the young driver as dangerous, and to add insult to injury, Max got slapped with a 5-place grid penalty. But hey, that was just the start of the drama. Throughout his debut season, Max found himself at the centre of one controversy after another. His daring overtakes, which other drivers found reckless, earned him the nickname Mad Max. However, Max Verstappen's talent was undeniable. After only a handful of races with Toro Rosso, Max was promoted to Red Bull Racing just 3 races into the 2016 season. His debut for Red Bull at the Spanish Grand Prix was nothing short of sensational. Using a smart 2-stop strategy, the teenager took the race lead and fended off Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen to clinch his maiden victory.
Max Verstappen wins a Formula 1 Grand Prix, wins the Spanish Grand Prix, and is the youngest driver.
Yes! Yes! Unbelievable, Max. Unbelievable.
At just 18 years and 228 days old, he became the youngest driver ever to win an F1 Grand Prix, dethroning Sebastian Vettel. This victory didn't just prove he was a serious contender, it shocked everyone and put Mad Max on the map. People couldn't believe their eyes. Here was a kid defying all odds and winning his debut race with Red Bull. It was even more significant because Red Bull hadn't seen a victory since the 2014 Belgian GP, over 2 years prior. Max Verstappen's 2016 Spanish Grand Prix victory isn't just a story of the Mercedes driver's crash so Max won. Oh no, it's way more interesting than that. What we saw was a top-notch display from Max Verstappen. In that race, we saw Max Verstappen's incredible skill at managing tyres. In his final stint, he kept his medium tyres going strong, even with Kimi Raikkonen breathing down his neck. And this wasn't just luck. From the start of his rookie season with Toro Rosso in 2015, Max knew tyre management would be crucial, especially in the high degradation Pirelli era. He worked hard with his engineer, Xavi Pujolar, to hone this skill. Now, Raikkonen is no slouch when it comes to tyre management either, but running in the dirty air behind the Red Bull and making a couple of failed overtaking attempts wore out his tyres more. In the end, Kimi's tyres couldn't hold up as well as Max's, even though he finished just 0.6 seconds behind. Another incredible thing we saw from Max Verstappen that weekend was a masterclass in ultra-rapid adaptation. For all the stars that aligned to put him in the lead, it was his ability to switch from Toro Rosso to the Red Bull so seamlessly that really stole the show. Even though both teams are under the same umbrella, their cars didn't behave the same that season. Max didn't even get a test run with the senior team. Initially, the Red Bull's super responsive front end threw him off a bit since he was used to the Toro Rosso's understeer. By the first practice session on Friday morning, Max was just 0.169 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo. By final practice, he was slightly faster. Although Ricciardo outqualified him by just over 0.3 seconds, Daniel had to work harder to get into Q3, needing an extra run in Q2 and only having enough soft tyres for one Q3 run. When Ricciardo made his first pit stop from the lead, he was just 1.5 seconds ahead of Max. In the junior racing categories, Max was known for his aggressive late-braking style, thrilling F1 fans with his daring passes. But in this breakthrough victory at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, he didn't need to show much of that flair. Aside from a crucial first lap move on Vettel, Max drove with the poise of a seasoned pro. With a world champion like Raikkonen breathing down his neck, Max never deviated from his line, never locked a brake, and brought the car home like he'd done it a dozen times before. It's nothing short of remarkable what Max Verstappen achieved that weekend. Ever since he burst onto the scene, he's been a force to be reckoned with. Given his inexperience at the time, it was a performance that left everyone in awe and will be remembered for years to come. It wasn't just about being in the right place at the right time, it was about staying there under immense pressure. Sure, a few things had to fall into place for Max to win, but the key point is that he was there, ready to seize the moment. Just 10 days earlier, Red Bull had made the bold decision to swap him for Kvyat, and they took a lot of heat for it, just like they did when they first hired him. But wow, hasn't that gamble paid off? Well, the gamble paid off big time, and today Max Verstappen is a beast on the track, winning races with unimaginable margins. So here are Max Verstappen's most dominant races since his F1 debut.